Drink it in, man.
Touchdown, Detroit Lions! Cornbread! Cornbread! Cornbread!
Drink it in, man.
Touchdown, Detroit Lions! Touchdown, Detroit Lions! Cornbread!
Detroit Koolaid. Detroit Koolaid drinkers, we are back here on a Wednesday talking Lions football, serving up that delicious Honolulu Blue flavored Kool-Aid.
Drink it in, man.
Side of cornbread.
Cornbread!
Make it a double.
Cornbread!
And I might as well just play this guy's soundbite because he's on the show. He's back. We got tons to talk about. I think he took like a month off after the draft because it kind of put him through the ringer. But he's back today to talk all things Lions. You guys know who he is.
Woo! Hashtag choppy liking.
Chops. At Chops in the D, you're back, baby. Let's go. How you doing?
Guess who's back? Back again. Hey, Okrie, how's it going, buddy? Yeah, I got to say, the draft show just put me through the ringer. I needed like 4 full weeks to recover and, get my voice back and get my stamina back. But hey, there's only 2,250 hours until the NFL season. So we have to use every single one of those now dedicated to getting the show on the road, loving our Detroit Lions, drinking in that Kool-Aid and getting ready to go.
There's no doubt about it, man. You actually put in work during the draft. I appreciate it. I was like, take a little time off. Let me do some solos. Let me get Logan Lamorandier, all these other people in here. But I am really happy to have you back, man. And there's a couple reasons I'm happy you're back on the show. First off, I'm happy you're back because I gotta tell you, there are lots of folks out there. I mean, the people, you know who they are, right, Choppy?
I think I do.
And the people consist of the millions.
I mean, they're out there drinking Kool-Aid. They have signed up for the Detroit Koolaid Cast Fantasy League, a 20-team league, 20 players per team, got rolling, and man. All right, so I'm trying to get Chops in the D to be in the Kool-Aid League. I'm texting him. I'm saying, man, the people would love you to be in the league. And I get nothing. I mean, you can't make a few picks, Choppy. You can't. I mean, did you just know you were going to lose to me? I mean, did you know that the rest of the Kool-Aid drinkers were going to dominate you in this league? I mean, I just want a quick take on that before we get rolling.
Oh, Okrie, I knew you were going to start the show off with this. I knew you were going to come at me and attack me. I chalked up all my notes to just be ready to defend myself to the people because you've got me as like, I'm the heel now. I'm the vilified villain of the people now because I don't love them enough to jump into this league.
Yes.
And man, I told you, it's like I told you I couldn't do it. I didn't want to commit the time to it. I had too much stuff going on, and you keep pushing, and then the next thing I know, you're somehow I start getting all these email notifications that my draft is live, and here we go. When you're texting me like, "Hey, make this pick for the people, Chops," I'm like, dude, I haven't even paid attention to what's even happening right now. I'm over on the West Coast right now. I'm in Seattle. I'm 3 hours behind. You're texting me. It's like 4 a.m. I'm like, bro, what's going on? I don't even know what the heck is what we're doing. And then of course, like 4 hours later when I'm actually like alive and it's like actually a live time for me over on the West Coast, and you're like, oh, you let the people down. You are so fake. Oh, you say you love them, but you don't. I'm like, man, listen, I got the love for the people. I knew you were gonna bring this up. Don't question my love for the millions and millions of fans out there.
You guys know what his Twitter handle is, at Chops in the D. Go find him. I mean, like you say, you didn't know what's going on with all this. You don't know what's going on with fantasy football. It's been well established. All right. So, Choppy, what we're gonna do today is I thought it'd be fun just to go. The folks want to hear about like the hot topics of the Lions, maybe some hot takes, maybe some over unders, maybe some interesting opinions, maybe some battles, some disagreements. So I was like, let's just both come up with questions and let's just fire them back and forth and see what happens. But of course, no, you said something like, oh, I want to be prepared. I was like, I'm not sending you my questions. I want a real off-the-cuff take from you. I'm sure there's going to be lots of golf love mixed in. I'm sure there's going to be some horrible, rants and opinions from you. But we're just going to go straight up, back and forth. I got about 10-plus questions here that I narrowed it down. I think you got about 8, 10 in your back pocket. So are you ready to battle this out, man? I think it's just question for question. Let's give the folks some content. Now let's go.
Yeah, Oak. I mean, look, you want to blindside me. I'm sure you're going to try to, trick me into saying something I'm going to regret later. But yeah, that's fine. It's been well established that my motto in my household is always be prepared. But you want to throw me 10 random questions off the cuff? I mean, who knows? You could even, you come out of left field with these things. So, yeah, let's do it. You're going to put my Lions knowledge and feel for the field on the spot. So, yeah, let's do it. But, I gave you the courtesy of sending you my questions just to prepare you because that's the kind of co-host that I am. But you want to come at me, guns blazing. I got the bulletproof vest on and let's go.
Copy, this is the Koolaid Cast, man. This is where we hit record, we try to entertain, and we talk ball. This is one of those shows where we spend like 4 hours prepping, and we bore the people to death. That's not what we do. And first question, why do you hate these people?
And the people consist of the millions.
Because you were too good to do the fantasy league where I'm sitting with Christian McCaffrey, Antonio Gibson, Jerry Jeudy, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Jalen Hurts. I mean, it's basically a championship team. We're in round 5. But that's not the point. We already talked about that. My first question to you, would you pay T.J. Hockenson $17+ million on a multi-year deal?
Oh, jeez, that's a way to kick off the show with hot topic fire, man. No, right now I would not pay T.J. Hockenson $17 million. I think he may earn that contract this year. I know we picked up his 5th-year option, but I mean, he's got to be a top 5 tight end, top 3 tight end this year in order to get 17 mil out of me.
That's an obvious choppy reply. Mr. Got a lock on his wallet, always trying to get everybody for cheap, wants all pros for no money. He's going to get this money. He's going to quickly be passed by other players, and all he has to be is a top 10-ish type player at the position to, put our offense over the top. I think he's going to be well worth it. He's a quality football player, and the stats and everything will come, but I'd do it. I'd get him locked up long term here. 4 years, somewhere in that 15 to 17 range. Choppy, what do you got from me? I can't wait to hear a question from you so I can tear this up.
Wow, baby. All right, let's go. I am going to ask you, at the end of the year, who is going to end up as our wide receiver 1? I'm hearing a lot of love for my boy Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'm hearing lots of love for Jameson Williams. You have been clearly established as a DJ Chark fanboy. So who at the end of the year, who's going to be our number 1 wide receiver? Go.
Choppy, first off, I got to take a side tangent like I normally do. You heard the rant from Stephen Callie about my nickname, ARSB, versus his nickname, AR14. Well, what do you think? Which one's better? Just give me a quick take.
Yeah, I'm going with Amon-Ra. That's what we're doing.
I think that is better. All right, so who's going to be the WR1? Here's my thing. Like DJ Chark is so swaggy. I like everything about him, and I like him even more now that he's put on Lions uniform because he loves being here. He's big, he's fast, he's humble, he's a hard worker. That's why I like him. Plus, he's healthy, and he'll be ready to go. So I see that bigger body with the skill set he has as WR1. Obviously, I love J-Mo. We were here alive. Who they taking? Who you taking at 12, Okrie? Give me Jameson Williams, just like Brad Holmes did. And I think he's going to be ready ready to roll, but I just got to see it a little bit first and see how many games he may or may not miss. And to me, RSB is a sweet slot player that can do a lot of things. So give me my boy DJ Chark as WR1 for 2022.
All right, I like it. I'm going to throw a real quick side tangent on there, though. And this guy seems to be the forgotten guy. And everyone forgets that, our offense was just absolutely putrid until this guy came back to the squad to join his boy Jared Goff. And that's Josh Reynolds. I mean, is this guy just like gone? No one cares about him anymore. He's like wide receiver 5 now. I hear people talking about Khalif Raymond more than Josh Reynolds. So don't sleep on Josh Reynolds. I don't know if he's going to be able to overtake J-Mo by the end of the season, but I see him. I actually see him with some potential to be our number 1.
As much as we do the bit that you pass like love notes that say checkbox if you agree to Jared Goff every show, your next new bit is your love for Josh Reynolds. I mean, you got this guy in the Hall of Fame or in the Pro Bowl. I agree with you. I just don't bring it up every show like you do. Like, I started watching an old game recently, and he looks silky smooth, man. He's got big old long arms and, says everything right in the media. I like Josh Reynolds as well, but nowhere as much as you do, bro.
No.
Do I get another question?
Fire away.
So, normally I'd save this for last, but we might as well just come guns a-blazing. So my second question to you, Choppy and the D, is can ya boy Jared Goff? I want to know, first off, can he throw? Secondly, can he throw for like 4,000, maybe 4,200, maybe 4,500 yards? And can this guy get to the 30 touchdown plateau as a Lions quarterback? I mean, they added an extra game. These numbers should be very obtainable. He now has weapons. Can he do it? Because I still am very, questionable, but I hope he plays well. But you just love this guy so much.
Oh, Okrie again, so predictable. I knew you weren't even going to be able to wait till question 3 to get up on me about Jared Goff. So yeah, look, I'm going to unlace the gloves. We're going to throw down, and I'm going to tell you that the guy is going to throw for 4,500 plus yards. He's going to throw for 30 touchdowns, and he's going to be under 7 interceptions. Okay, the guy is going to ball out. He's surrounded by weapons. He's surrounded by an O-line. He's surrounded by running backs. The guy's going to drop dimes all over the field. He's got his boy, the new coordinator. His career is revitalized. This is a career year for Jared Goff. Mark it.
Mark it. Oh, I'm getting to use the bell again, which is great. And the choppy drops, which is...
Hashtag choppy liking.
All right, that was a predictable response. My question is over under how many spirals, because I saw the ball wobbling again when I turned the tape on. You want me to go again, or you got a good question for me? I'm still waiting for a good one from you.
Oh, you're gonna dog me here. All right, fine. Let's go. Let's go to the other side of the ball here. And this, I'm gonna bring this up because you, again, another fanboy of this guy. Coming off an injury. How big of a year is this for Jeff Okudah, and how important is it that he just balls out to earn that number 3 pick status this year?
First of all, let's get it right. Mr. Okudah. Secondly, this guy's been forgotten about, man. People wrote him off. Like, this is the problem with not only Detroit, but a lot of places, especially in the National Football League. These guys come straight out of school. Yeah, they got a lot of hype. The draft, they make the biggest thing ever because it's the greatest event in all of sports and entertainment. But like, you expect these guys just to roll out and be perfect from day one. This guy's had injuries. Yes, he struggled on the field early in his career, but we didn't even know what he would have done last year. The guy got hurt in game 1. It's not like he went out and sucked for 6 games and then got hurt. He didn't even play. He played for 2 quarters, and yeah, he was kind of, struggling at times. But this guy, I feel like he's been forgotten about. He's been written off. And to me, if he's an above average cornerback, that helps the Detroit Lions. I expect him to be just incredible from a mentality standpoint, and if he can stop fumbling over his feet and be able to cover people, he's going to help this team almost regardless of what he does. So if he's average, above average, or dare I say great, that's going to be incredible for this team.
I would have expected nothing less out of you. Nothing less.
There you go. All right, Chappie, good question about Mr. Okuda. Now, this is what I want to know from you, man. Will Dan freaking Campbell, MCDC, the head, the leader of this football team, is he going to go crazy again on fourth downs this year, or you think he's going to reel it in a little bit?
Oh, Okrie, that's an easy one. Way to just put that one on a tee and let me hit it over the ballpark, baby. This guy's going to be unpredictable. Let you know this guy, he's jacked up on coffee, he's drinking Red Bulls, he's drinking Monsters, he's doing lattes with shots. Bro, this guy is going to be unpredictable. He is not going to be by the book. He's not going to do what everybody says he should do. This guy is going to take risks. He's going to do what he thinks in his head is best situation for his team, and he's not going to be afraid to defend it later on. And he's not going to do what everybody thinks is conventional. That's a super easy one. The guy is going to continue to be crazy, and I love every second of it.
I think he'll still be aggressive, but I can see him pulling back, especially if we're better on both sides of the football. But I do like it that he's outside the box aggressive, and he's not scared, that's for sure. Choppy, what else you got for me?
All right, Okrie, here we go. Let's talk a little bit about the slap in the face from the NFL. Like, are you mad that we have, like, no primetime games other than Thanksgiving this year? What? Every single game is a 1 p.m. game. I mean, how big of a slap is that from the NFL to our Detroit Lions?
Choppy. Man, I've addressed this, bro. I've said I love this schedule. I never get all wound up. Oh, this is disrespectful. Oh, the Lions don't like us like they like the Cowboys or the New England Patriots or the Chiefs or the Tampa Bay. But I don't get into all that, man. I'm like, what's best for our football team? This young team that's retooling and about ready to go. Fellas, you play every week at 1, and when you whoop up on some of these teams, you can earn a primetime game late when the division title will be on the line. So this is no big deal whatsoever. Who likes sitting around all Sunday not watching Lions football? Who wants to go to work all day and grind through and then try to get all hyped for a Monday night football game? Not me, man. At least not right now. Maybe when the Lions really start balling out. But I absolutely love the schedule. It's no slap in the face. It's a favor to our Lions.
I got to take a quick counter because really, okay, you said, you're fine with all the 1 o'clock games until we get better and we start balling out. So what you're saying is that the NFL expects the Lions not to ball out and to not be good. And so they just put them in the 1 o'clock slots instead of the 8 o'clocks, the Monday nights, the Sunday nights. Like, I heard there's a rumor innuendo they may be going to 2 Monday night games a few weeks this week. Like, or if this year, like, I don't know. I like the 1 o'clock start. I know you're on record for that. I'll agree with you on that. I don't mind the 1 o'clock start. Knowing where I'm going to be every Sunday at 1 o'clock is great. But I still think this is a bit of a slap to say, like, hey, we don't think you're going to be any good. And I think we're going to prove a bunch of people wrong, especially in the NFL. And, Roger Goodell can stick it where the sun don't shine. And when we make the playoffs.
The problem is we don't know where you're going to be at 1 o'clock at night. Usually at like a hockey game or on the West Coast or in midst of traveling or on a plane, and I got to tell you what's going on with this team. So that's part of the problem. But what I meant is that the Lions are on the come up. Like once we're there, then not only are we going to get the prime times, but then it's going to be even more hype. This is a great year just to be on this flat schedule and have everybody sleep on us. I mean, keep sleeping. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of where I'm at with it. So let's get a couple more in here before we get our great sponsors in. And I want to know from you, over, under. I know, Choppy, you're the bet man of the show. You like a little action here and there. Like,
yeah.
Over, under. DeAndre Swizzle. 14 games.
Ooh, that is a good one. Look, I've seen the guys bulked up a bit. I think that they've really worked on him with this injury bug to try to get him going. So, man, I'm feeling good. I think they're going to keep him fresh, swinging in Jamal Williams in there with Swift and Swag, two-headed monster. I'm going over 14 games from my boy D Swizzle.
Drink it in, man.
Over under 70 catches.
Oh man, another fire one, man. I think there's going to be so many battles and hands out there looking to grab balls with this team that we have now, this wide receiving core. I got to go under. I hate to do it, but I got to say under because I think we're going to be pushing the ball down the field a bit more.
Over, under, all purpose, 1,200 plus for Swizzle, number 32.
Over, not even close. Well over 1,200 all purpose.
All right, I snuck in a few extras. What else you got?
All right, let's do it. I like it. I like when you come at me with multiple there. All right, well, you brought it up. So how do you see the running back situation panning out this year? Give me a percentage split carry between Swift and Swag.
You know what I heard before we started recording that was absolute blasphemy? It was like, who might be a surprise cut for the Detroit Lions? I think this was like, Carson Anderson on good old 97.1. You guys know who those guys are, right?
Hey, Kool-Aid drinker and, cornbread muffin and all that.
Yeah, that's Gator. He's kind of been hating on the Lions every time I turn him on. Used to be optimistic. Now he likes to take cheap shots, kind of like that other guy on that channel in the afternoons. But, Doug Karsh is always trying to be Mr., maybe this, maybe Mr. Analytical. They said a surprise cut might be Jamal Williams. Are you crazy? Did you watch this guy last year? Don't give me his yards per carry and act like that's the end-all, be-all. Every time I saw this guy, he was smashing up the field for 8, 10, 12 yards a crack. I love his mentality. I love his personality. I love his dance moves. And I love the way he ran the football. So this guy's not going anywhere. He's going to be a nice piece for the Lions this year, but I've always been a proponent of get the ball to Swizzle, get it to him in the pass game, get it to him in the draw game, get it to him in the outside run so he can jump over people. Like I would make it, 65-35, and then you got to mix in, come on, Craig, your boy, and you got to get Jefferson in there as well. So that's kind of how I'd see it between the two big dogs, and don't forget about our sneaky depth as well.
Yeah, I think this is going to take us to the break here because I got to step in and respond to that. Just audacious, ridiculous, pompous, terrible take that Jamal Williams might be actually cut. The guy who led our team in attempts last year. Yeah, that's right, Charles. Tell him again.
That's terrible.
Guy had 153 attempts last year. 1 fumble Ruski, by the way. 3 tutties. Not terrible. 600 yards, only 16 behind Swift. And you're telling me we're going to cut this dude? And he's got the most personality on the team? Come on, Doug. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Come on, Gator. That's BS.
Hey, Gator, this is for you, bro.
It was a bad decision. Period, point blank. It was one of the dumbest decisions I ever made.
So, yeah, I agree with you, man. Love what Swift and Swag can do this year. And like the Lions had a nice run game last year, first time probably since I've been alive, and I don't expect it to slow down. I think it's going to be real nice this year with that O-line up front as well. So, all right, Choppy, like you say, we got to get our wonderful sponsors in here. You guys got to go to Anchor Pods, check them out. You got to go realitysportsonline.com, and you got to go check out my boys over at PFF All 22. They've rolled out their platform. I think just in the last couple of days, they got their draft portion of their setup going now. Really good guys, really fun. If you love football, you love PFF grades, and you love fantasy football, and you're much better at it than Chops is, I'm sure, you need to go check out PFF All 22. So listen to a couple of those great sponsors, and we come back. Me versus Chops. More questions, more hot takes, more content. Let's go. Alright everybody, we got to take a quick pause, and you've heard us talk about this sponsor before. It's a tremendous sponsor of the show. We got to talk to you for a minute about Anchor. Anchor is the easiest way to podcast. I mean, it's everything you need in one place, and it's absolutely free. F-R-E-E, free. You can do this from your phone or your computer. The app lets you record and edit so you sound great. It couldn't be easier. Anchor even distributes it for you. They help you get on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and so many more. Anchor easily lets you make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. Right from the jump, they help you earn money and have fun while you podcast. So what are you waiting for? Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started right now. And with that being said, we're going to get to our podcast right now. All right, everybody. this goes out to my fantasy football fans out there. Now, you probably heard about Reality Sports Online, the most powerful fantasy sports platform where owners can build and manage their fantasy team like a real NFL general manager. But the question is, have you tried it? I mean, we're talking free agency, multi-year contracts, rookie drafts, multi-team trades. You can put franchise tags on guys. It's as close as you're going to get to being an NFL GM. But do you think it sounds complicated? It's not. I'm here to tell you it's the best thing about Reality Sports Online is it's just more fun than your normal fantasy league, but it doesn't take barely any more time. After all this, are you still not sure? I mean, come on now. You can test your general manager skills by going over to Reality Sports Online, call it RSO. Please go check out realitysportsonline.com right now. What's going on, Kool-Aid drinkers?
Drink it in, man.
We're back from the break. I'm sure you got a hot piping piece of cornbread.
Cornbread!
Make it a double.
Cornbread!
Ready to go. And everybody, during the break, Choppy just kept going on and on, apologizing for not doing the fantasy league and letting the people down and just not being a good human being in that aspect and being a horrible fantasy player in general because he loses to me in almost every league that we do. That's probably why he didn't do this one. So I just want to let you guys know he's sorry. And he just kept going on and on. We just don't have time for that on the show, Choppy, because we got to get into this. We got to do more questions. And the first question I want to know from you, we kind of talked about this guy earlier, but I'm curious on your thoughts on this because I have an interesting opinion as well. When will Jameson Williams, actually hit the field? When's his first game going to be for the Lions, actually out there playing like the player that we know this kid can be?
I think it's a lot sooner than a lot of people are talking about. I mean, if the guy's ready to play, they're going to put him on the field. Like, I've heard all these ridiculous, well, wait till Thanksgiving, blah, blah. No, bro, we got games to win here. So, if the doctors check the box and they say he's healthy, we start him. I mean, he's in. So I don't expect him to come out and be, lights out, crazy, awesome, good, like game one. I think it's going to take him a little bit of time to adjust to the system, maybe 2-3 games. But I'm telling you, by like game 4, his game 4, guy's going to be balling out. Jared Goff is going to be dropping dimes down the field, into his arms, into the open space, and the guy's just going to be gone. I expect huge numbers out of this guy. I expect him to play probably about maybe 12 or 13 games. And I expect by like game 4, he's a baller.
You want to know a couple things I think you might say once this guy hits the field and starts making plays? You want to know?
Yeah, tell me.
Woo! Hashtag choppy liking.
You probably say that after he scores like a 50-plus yard touchdown. I mean, you might say this multiple times during football games when number 18 is out there. Because I think he's absolutely electric. I'm going to go out on a limb and I want to say game 1. I really do because he's so confident and we could really use him against the Eagles. But I only think he misses a couple football games. I think by week 3 is what I'm targeting. It's kind of he's not ready. We'll see what we do those first couple. But then all of a sudden he's ready and he just comes out, game 3 and just is ready to roll. So I also don't think it's going to be as much time. And the sooner the better because people are excited, but I think they're also sleeping on the type of player that we have in this kid and what he can do on the field, both stressing defenses and scoring big-time touchdowns and making big-time plays.
Yeah, I think people are forgetting that, the Lions worked their magic and got 2 of the biggest playmakers in the draft, splash players in the draft on both sides of the field. And, I'm so excited to see this guy in that crispy 18 out there just balling.
Me when Jameson Williams makes plays?
Oh, baby!
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. All right, Okrie, here we go. Let's stick with it. We're going with the rookies. What is Hutch's ceiling for this season? I want to hear some numbers.
Ooh, that's interesting. I've thrown out crazy numbers in the past. People know that I might have a little too much of that Detroit Koolaid at times, and I like to throw out double digits when it comes to sacks and whatnot. But I was thinking about this recently, and I was kind of Man, Hutch is getting so much buzz about how good he is already in practice, how much his teammates love him, all this good vibes that's going on, better than expected, everything we're looking for. That's all fine and well. I like it. But when it comes down to numbers, I think he can be really impactful for this team at anywhere from 5 to 8 sacks this year. And because I think he can play the run, I think he's going to get maybe a lot of those pressures that either make plays or that speed up the quarterback, but he doesn't get home. And I'm totally fine with that. I mean, all we really need to do is rattle quarterbacks. I'm going to love it when he's getting the crowd hype after he almost makes a play or when his teammates make a play. All the intangibles that he brings, plus anywhere in that 5 to 8 sack numbers, is going to be totally fine with me for a rookie year. And I'm not even worried about what his big time ceiling in regards to numbers is long term. I just think he just needs to be consistently disruptive, but in a way that Hutch will be, which is run game, pass game, set the edge, be a physical force and all that stuff. And I don't even know if he's going to be a big time numbers guy when it's all said and done, but I think everything I hear is better than advertised, and we wanted him from day one. So I just can't wait to see 97 on the field for the Lions as well.
Yeah, I got to agree with you. I know people are putting some crazy numbers out there sack wise, but I think they're going to utilize him in a bit of a different way as well. I mean, they're going to let him get his, but you got to look at the line too. I mean, you got Hutch, you got Charles Harris, you got Pascal, you got the Okrie brothers. You got a lot of guys that are going to go out there and get after the quarterback. So, they're either going to have to focus on one side and be a little weaker on the other. And that's going to open it up. I mean, can you imagine if we're so focused on Hutch and Romeo just goes to town and earns that contract on the other side? Like, there's just so much they can mix and match. So I like what they're going to do. But yeah, I don't see him going absolutely bananas, double-digit sacks in the first year. And I don't think that's what we really need him to do. We need him to be a leader. We need him to go out there, play his role, and they're going to set him up for success for sure.
No more saying this when you're talking about our edge rushers.
Who is this Rudy Poo?
A little echoed and hurt. No more of that, because you know who it is? It's Hutch. It's Romeo. It's Charles. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't wait to see those guys ball out. So, Choppy, let me throw this one at you. This is going to be, you're going to have to bend that mind of yours. You're going to have to really think this one over, because I want to know who's going to be starting, who's going to be impactful at the linebacker position come week 1 for the Lions. It's about 8 to 10 guys right now. Nobody knows anybody who's going to be out there making plays. I know linebackers a little bit devalued, but you still need people that can run, tackle, make plays. We haven't had that since, I don't know, DeAndre Levy, Stephen Tulloch, and Chris Spielman are the last 3, and Spielman and company. A lot of those were way before I even got really rolling with the Lions. So it's like, who's going to be the linebackers, and who can we circle and be like, Choppy, at Chops in the D, said he's going to make plays?
Yeah, man, that's a crazy good question, because right now I'm looking at like 7 rotational guys that are like, they could be good. They could not be good. Right. They could maybe make some plays. Let's just run down the list. Derek Barnes, Anzalone, Davis, lots of hype for Rodriguez. We got Chris Board in the offseason. We got James Houston we drafted, Josh Woods. I mean, I got a lot of names. I don't expect anyone to be all pro caliber. The guy who I'm really looking to kind of take the lead for me is Derek Barnes. I was so high on this guy in the draft. I really want to see him in a leadership role. I want to see him running the field. So, but I really love what I'm seeing out of Malcolm Rodriguez. And don't sleep on James Houston either. So, I mean, Anzalone came back. He'll be the starting middle linebacker. I think he'll be the guy kind of, with the flow out there running the field. I don't know what to make of Jared Davis. I mean, I don't know if we chalk that up to, Matt Pat didn't know what to do with him, didn't know how to motivate him, and now he's back, and maybe Dan Campbell does. But I see Anzalone as the general for now, but I'm expecting a huge year out of Derek Barnes.
Like, normally I'd like to come back with something, but as I'm rolling through these names, I have no clue. Like, I mean, guys that you left off the list that I think are intriguing is Sean Dion Hamilton. Like, this guy that got some pub last year before he got hurt. And it's like my boy James Houston. I'd like to see him really get after the quarterback. I agree with you. Do we know, is Malcolm Rodriguez going to be a starter in year 2 and be a stud, or is he going to be a guy that washes out after getting some hype when he's out there in shorts and tees? I mean, I don't know either, so I think it's just going to be really intriguing to watch, and hopefully they're a bunch of dogs that just go out there and run hit, and you don't even care what their names are. That's what I'm hoping for. And I want to see Barnes, because I have this feeling that the coaches don't love where he's at as a player. I still love his physicality. I love him. He's got a great first name, even though it's spelled wrong, but like I don't think the coaches are in love with where he's at, and I just hope that he shows up big come game day.
Yeah, I agree. I think maybe this is a little cloak and dagger. Maybe they are really big on him. They're just kind of keeping it under the hat. I can see that kind of mentality too. So I don't know. I'm big on Derek Barnes. I loved that draft pick. I hope he jumps right in. So. Let me come back at you with another question here. So what position group are you still concerned about? We talked about linebacker. I think we were concerned about the linebacker core before the draft. Give me another position group that is like your biggest concern going into the season now.
It's, like I say, linebacker would be up there for me as far as impactful positions that are top of my list. It'd probably still be that safety spot, because I've continued to be on Tracy's side because he's rocking that 2-1. He's got those go-go gadget arms, and he's got the mentality, but I haven't seen the type of playmaking I want to see. So now he's paid. Now he's supposed to be a cornerstone, a piece for this team. He's got to show up a little bit bigger than just making a bunch of tackles downfield. Deshaun Elliott, that was the guy that I promoted way before they signed him. Really excited about what he can do, but I haven't seen it yet. Kirby seems to be getting a lot of love in camp, so maybe he'll be better. But even if those guys are like optimally good, I don't know what that means if we're going to have like some dynamic run hit and interception type safeties. I really don't know. And then to me, it's just the tight end position. Like, you've got TJ Hawkinson, but like, I'm high on him. You're not. I'd pay him. You wouldn't. But who's after that? Like, they better hope James Mitchell is damn good, because after that, it's a bunch of tackling dummies and guys that you picked up off the street that you're hoping are just going to be good. Oh, Derek Deese, this guy they got undrafted, is going to make the roster, I heard recently. Really? Because I'm looking around a lot of other teams that have a lot better players at the tight end position at 1, 2, 3 than Deese or Brock Wright. You know what I'm saying? So backup tight ends, even TJ, throw them in there, and our safety position would probably be the top 2 that come to mind.
Yep, I totally agree. Those are my 2 big concerns. We don't know what we have after TJ, and we honestly still don't know what we have at safety. I mean, again, what is Tracy Walker? Who knows? I love the Deshaun Elliott sign. I like the Kirby draft, but it's still a big question mark to me in the middle of the field. So
let me ask you this one. I mean, this is a guy. We joke a lot about the nicknames. What'd you come up with? Something like Brad, always open for business Holmes, which still, I mean, come on. Are you kidding me? I mean, it's big, bad Brad. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to have it catchy. It's got to be catchy. Like, I don't know, like something like ARSB. But here's a guy that I think this is probably my best nickname to date, but he hasn't showed up on the field yet. My question to you, does Levi, a.k.a. Big Denim, does Mr. Onzarike, does he earn that name? Does he make plays? Does he show up big in 2022? I'm talking like that 5, 8+ sacks, like I said, Mr. Hutchinson might have.
I know I do like that nickname. You got to give Big Denim. It's way bigger than your Big Brad hand. Big Bad hands of hand, whatever it is. It's terrible. It's not even worth remembering, to be completely honest. And I believe the people told you who gave the better Brad Holmes, always open for business nickname. But I will give you props with the Big Denim. I don't know what we have with this guy. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I mean, I still have Aline McNeil and Brocker slated ahead of him. Now we got, we got Josh Pascal. We've got all these other guys. I don't know how they're going to decide to run this front. I hate to say it, but I almost feel like Big Denim just ends up being a guy that is on the line, and he's solid, but he's not flashy. I don't have huge aspirations for him as much as, his nickname kicks ass. But, I mean, I really just don't have a huge, put a pin on this guy because he's going to just dominate. I don't have that feeling about him.
So here's a couple things. First of all, it's a half good call out on my nicknames because I can't have multiple nicknames that all start with big. Or can I? Because that's all Shaq does. If you ever watch TNT, all Shaq does is put big in front of something, and that's your nickname. He's done it multiple times. The big cactus, the big. He has like 10 nicknames himself that all just start with big something. So I can use big and then something funny however many times I want as a nickname, to be honest. Second of all, you're chalking this guy up as, he's just kind of a, whatever. He's a decent player. I mean, this guy was hurt last year. He was a penetrating tackle at Washington. He's a big physical guy. All he's done has been in the weight room. And Choppy, if you've been listening, if you've been paying attention, the Lions say they're moving to an attacking style, a get after the front, get after the quarterback, blow up field. You know who does that? Levi Onwuzurike, a.k.a. Big Denim. So, yeah, I think he's going to have a nice big bounce back year. People are like, man, this is why we took this guy high in the second round.
I mean, look, if you're going to have the entire D-line penetrating the, what's I mean, how many sacks are we going to have this year, Okrie? I mean, you got every single guy on the line is just like breaking through and trying to get to the quarterback. It's pretty lofty. Big
Hutch, Big Romeo, Big Denim, and Big Plump. There you go.
Oh, what about Big Julian?
He's outside linebacker, but lots of hype about him as well. Choppy, what else you got? Let's keep this thing rolling.
All right, I know we're running short on time here, so let's go. Give me 4 building block players for the future. Who you building this roster around? Who are guys that are cemented in their spot, and they are the absolute future of this Super Bowl winning Detroit Lion team?
Ooh, that's a good one. Normally, you've said a good question for me a couple times. Normally, the gimmick on the show was, is that a real question? Really? People know that from back in the day. But that's a good one by you. I mean, I've been giving you some grief today on the show. I've been yelling quite a bit. But when you're talking about big building blocks, see what I did there? I mixed in big again. It's got to be Big J-Mo. We got to start with him. It's I know people are always a wide receiver. Lions have missed on wide receivers in the past. At Joey Sports Guy came on here trying to make jokes about how many Williams we drafted, this, that, and the other. I think he's going to be a very dynamic piece in this new age NFL. Gosh, when you're talking about building blocks, it's still hard because I don't know that a lot of these were so damn young. It's hard to say is anybody established. I already told you I'd pay the man, so I'd probably make Mr. Hockenson a player that would stay around and be a guy that we see on the uptick that's going to make plays. A lot of hype about Julian Okwara. I can't put him as like a building block. Swizzle's a running back, so you hate to do it, but right now he's definitely one of my top 4 players that we have on this team. So it'd be like J-Mo, Swizzle, Hockenson, and then, gosh, when you're looking at that defense, I mean, the only guy that I think it continues to be on the come up and is great is another great nickname here on the show. You guys know what it is.
Oh, baby!
A-O! I mean, I was saying last year, he's got to show me a little bit more. He's got to make some more plays. He did. He really did. He's very solid out there. So he might be a young piece on defense, but it's just hard to say right now. I think some of those guys up front I would love to be saying, Hutch, obviously Hutch. So, Hutch over AO, no question. It's kind of that building block piece, but still need more on the defensive side. And you hope those will be Big Denim, Big Plump. You hope that Pascal will be in that mix. Derek Barnes will come at linebacker, see what the safeties do. But you got to go those big bodies. So Hutch, Hockenson, Swift, J-Mo for me.
All right, not bad, not bad. I'll give you like a B on that one because you missed a really ginormous freak one. I don't know, maybe the guy that we took with the 7th pick last year, Mr. Penei Sewell. Come on now.
Oh, it's true. Penei. I love Penei Sewell. Oh man, yeah, that's true. He's got to be up there. Gosh, Frank Ragnow as well is a
yeah. You missed
piece.
The whole O line, baby. The biggest strength of the team. Ragnow, Decker, Sewell. I figured you'd go all O line. So you shocked me a little there.
I hate to break it to you, Choppy. I really didn't read your questions at all. I mean, I'm a busy man as well, so I didn't really look at them, even though you sent them to me early and you got all worried about that we weren't going to be able to do the show without us prepping. This has been a great show. It's been a lot of entertainment value, a lot of hot takes. That's kind of what we do. So, like you said, we're running out of time. I'll go with I got to go 2 more because I got to know this one from you. What's the ceiling for you on Josh Pascal? He wasn't a guy that we had on the tip of our tongue, but I've seen pictures. He's a beast from the lower half down. He looks like a 10-year or a 5-year pro already. Like, do you think this guy can be really dominant, really fun to watch, or is he going to be the guy that's kind of like, yeah, he's all right, pretty good, but he's not going to hit that high status that you hope for?
Listen, I think I trust the Lions brass to think this guy's going to be dominant, or they wouldn't have taken him where they took him. I know when the live audio doesn't lie when they called the name and we're like, huh?
Right.
Who? But I mean, the more I watch on him, the more I look up. I mean, they don't use a 2nd round pick on this guy if they don't think he's going to be just an animal. 6'3", 278. I think the sky's the limit for him. Played at Kentucky, so didn't play a ton of great competition, but you know what? I think that they're high on him, and I'm going to follow suit, and I'm going to say that I trust Brad Holmes. I trust Dan freaking Campbell, and I think this guy's going to be a stud.
My favorite quote from Brad Holmes on Pascal was, "Man, I'm going to be pissed if we don't get this player." That told me everything I need to know, that he loves everything about him and that he's going to be a really impactful piece that he wanted badly, which is awesome, I think, based on his track record so far. Choppy, can I double dip to get us up out of here? And we didn't even do any plugs, man. You got to go to @ShopsInTheD on Twitter. Like Paul Jackson told me I got to get the show on YouTube, which is a ton of extra work for me, but I'm throwing it up on YouTube. We'll try to get this one out, try to see what else we can do. We definitely need those subscribers if you want us to do live shows, if you want us to do more content during the year. You'll have to get those subscribers way up because I haven't done much work on YouTube. But Choppy, we got all that going. What else we got going? The Koolaid line. You want to throw that number out? You want me to throw the number out?
Oh, okay. I mean, look, it's like we have so much good content. We don't have, we got to make time for the extras, man. You got to throw the number out to the people.
Everybody knows what the number is. I mean, like I said, you could call, you could text, you can leave a voicemail. You can call up, and if we are doing the show, I might pick up the phone. You never know what might happen. You better have a take, though, and it better not suck. And that's 989-272-3484. And I'm talking to you, Cornbread Jerry. I'm talking to Stephen Callie, Tommy Lyon, Frank Ribble. Who's our other boy? Brian Ives, where you at? Bo DeFrisco. I mean, you guys got to get on that line and blow it up. But yeah, we got to get that going for sure. We've had some funny ones. We love a couple live calls here and there. That'd be incredible to get those on. But
yeah, I heard you had a crazy guy who left a ridiculous message and ended it with some real great catchphrases there that you could use throughout the show for the rest of the till the end of eternity. I don't know who that guy was. Exactly. I don't know, maybe Chops in the D.
That was a good call. I mean, you use this weird hashtag at the end.
Woo! Hashtag Choppy Liking.
Woo! But yeah, I mean, it's we're having fun here. We're trying to do what we can. We're both very busy. It is fun to talk ball here on the show, though. So Choppy, let's end with one more for you. Who's the team MVP when it's all said and done at the end of this year? I mean, I think I know what you might say, but who's going to be the best player on this football team at the end of the year?
Oh, man. Well, I can't let you end the show on that question. I will answer it, but I'm going to retort with one final question of a look to the future. So, man, that's a great question. My answer should be get Jared Goff. The guy's going to ball out. He's going to be a Pro Bowler. He's going to have weapons. He's the man. He's going to break the stats. He's going to get the dubs. He's taking us to the playoffs. I could go on and on and on. I mean, yeah, he's going to be the centerpiece of it all, man. He will be our team MVP when it's all said and done next year.
Drink it in, man.
All right, well, this better be good. What else you got for me? We got to get up out of here.
So Okrie, I mean, look, I gave you that, right? So now I'm coming right back at your ass, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm putting you on the spot. Are we drafting a quarterback in 2023? Go.
Are we drafting a quarterback? Of course we're getting a quarterback. We're going to take those assets. We're going to go up and get Bryce Young because he can throw. But
boo this man.
Because here's my beef. I have fun with it. He can't throw. I love fun saying how much you love him. You're taking it, stealing his pictures from his Instagram. But the thing is, here's my problem with Jared Goff. If Jared Goff made no money and he was kind of marginal, and I hope he's good, and he's got this former high pick, but he makes like $35 million. Like, I can't have a $35 million guy where I'm wondering if he can throw spirals. Maybe he'll be good. I hope it works out, because even if he plays incredible this year and everyone's like, oh, Jared Goff, he's great, we'll keep him around, it's going to cost you top of the market, where I'd rather just go say thanks for what you did, appreciate you, and go get Bryce Young, baby, and let's roll. Like, team him up with J-Mo and company, and let's do this thing. So I got to go get me a franchise QB. I got to go get me one that I can pay on a coupon for a few years. I got to get a guy that I know is a top stud that's going to win games no matter what. And I don't know. Jared Goff's price tag and the fact that he's got question marks worry me. There you go.
Oh, you're breaking my heart. Absolutely breaking my heart. You want to bring in a quarterback who's going to make more money on nil in his college career than he is in his first 4 years in the NFL, man. Oh, just
I know the people.
You just crushed the Detroit spirit out of my heart.
The people
it's a good
agree
thing I
with
saved
me.
that for the end.
And here's the best part, Choppy, is that I keep looking at this roster and I'm like, I'm always optimistic, but I'm looking at a young, hungry roster right now. I'm looking at a quarterback with upside. He's got to be better. I'm looking at weapons, deep wide receiver, running back, tight end, offensive line that's young and healthy. I'm looking at a hungry, interesting defense. So I'm just so excited about what this team can do. There's lots of hype, lots of buzz, hard knocks, everything that's coming into it. But I just hope when all's said and done that this is just a really fun uptick year for the team. Everybody gets hype. We know that Dan Campbell can coach. We know that Brad Holmes, he's already proved 2 drafts that he can do his thing. Like, I just think by the end of this year, we're going to be flowing with Kool-Aid and cornbread, and people are going to be excited. And then the next 3 years after that is our window to just do some serious damage on the rest of the National Football League.
Yep, I couldn't agree more. We got a real nice young core. The other, the funny thing is that, real quick, I was going through the roster the other day. We have one guy on our team that's over 30. One. Brockers.
Exactly.
That is it. And Jared Goff is only 27, by the way, so don't make it sound like he's old, even though he's been in the league for a while. So, he's been around. He knows the deal. He's only 27. So 6 years in the league, 27 years old. He's still young.
Exactly. So everybody, definitely go give us that Twitter follow. Definitely try to put this up on YouTube. Go give us a subscribe over there. I'll put that link out. Chops is doing what he can to tweet when he can. Show his boy Jared Goff love when he can. And this was a fun show, man. I'm glad to have you back on, even though you let some of the people down because you knew you'd lose to me in fantasy. This was a fun show. We got lots of topics covered, lots of content. Good stuff, man.
Yeah, Okrie, I agree. I had to bring it for the people today. I will admit I let him down. I wasn't able to do the league, but the only way I can end the show is on a classic. Woo-wee! # choppy liking.
There it is, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. We'll catch you next week right here on the Detroit Koolaid Cast. Take care, everybody. We're out.
Pack the bag, start the plane. This game is over. It is over. What a comeback by the Lions. Drink it in, man.